a few weeks ago, I got a message that a brother of mine was wanting to see me. And he'd been suffering from cancer for a few years, and he was finally in his last days. And he especially wanted to see me because he wanted to learn some meditation after all these years at the very end of his life. Because, as he put it, he had a little bit of anxiety about leaving the body. And he had never shown any interest in these things. And just to explain our conversation, we weren't close growing up. He was much older than me, so we didn't have the usual emotional and sentimental sibling attachments, and we were more like acquaintances and friends over the years. And I, of course, wanted to help him, and so I drove to the hospital in San Francisco to see him. And I just very simply, I taught him the Hong Sau technique of meditation, which is, we consider it a beginning technique, or some people do, but it's actually a very powerful and advanced technique on the spiritual path. It is part of what we practice here. It's the path of Kriya Yoga. And it was interesting, our conversation, because he had led a challenging, rough and tumble life, and he had achieved great victories in his life. He had overcome a lot. I think that his wanting meditation was sort of maybe a prelude to his next life, and that he wasn't supposed to do it until the very end. Regardless, we had just a very beautiful conversation. He was very, very free. He had done a good job with his life and earned some real spiritual victories. And he was, his body was wasted away, and it was interesting to see, because when you see that when the body starts to waste away, the personality starts to go, and you start to see, and you look at someone who you thought you knew, and you realize when you look at them that all is Vasudev, because there's no longer the filter of personality between you and the light shining within that person.